Have you ever felt like your prayers just bounce off the ceiling, lost in a heavy, unbreakable silence? Breathe in. Let the air fill your chest, slow and uncertain. Notice how your shoulders ache, how your heart beats a little heavier tonight. The quiet around you isn't peace. It's the kind of silence that sits with you in the dark, whispering questions you don't know how to answer. Some days, it's as if you're walking through fog, each step slower than the last. You keep showing up, even when nothing changes. Maybe your hands tremble from holding on so tightly, from hoping so fiercely. Maybe you're tired of waiting for something to shift, for a sign that someone hears you. Yet, there's a stubbornness in your soul that refuses to let go, even when everything inside it. You wonder if you're the only one, if anyone else lies awake at night, staring at the ceiling, asking why the silence feels so loud. If anyone else feels the weight of wanting to give up, right at the edge of something they can't quite see. You try to fill the emptiness with distractions, but nothing settles that ache in your chest. Maybe you've been told to just keep believing, to hold on a little longer. But what if the silence isn't empty? What if you're not abandoned, but being prepared for something you can't imagine yet? Stay here with me, right in this moment of uncertainty. Let's breathe together. Something is shifting even if you can't see it. Maybe, just maybe, the silence is not the end, but the beginning of something new. Sometimes it feels like you're dragging a weight behind you that no one else sees. Maybe you've carried it for so long you can't remember when it first appeared or why it refuses to leave. There are days when you look in the mirror and wonder if you've hidden your pain so well that even you have forgotten where it hurts most. Is it possible to grow so used to pretending you're fine that you start to believe it, or at least hope others will? How many times have you found yourself exhausted, not just in your body, but deep in your soul? The kind of tiredness that sleep doesn't fix, the kind that follows you into your quiet moments and makes everything inside feel heavy. You think, maybe if you were stronger, you wouldn't feel this way. Maybe if your faith was real, you wouldn't have these doubts, this silence echoing back at you. But what if even the strongest sometimes reach the end of themselves? What if you're not alone in battling these shadows? There are moments when you feel almost ashamed for struggling, for not being able to hold everything together. You tell yourself that others seem to manage, so why not you? You wonder if your struggle is a sign of failure, if it means you're missing something every. But what if the ones who look the most certain are carrying invisible battles too? How long have you gone on, hoping for a sign, waiting for a breakthrough that seems just out of reach? Do you ever wonder if you've come so far, only to stop right before something changes? Sometimes, the silence feels like it's trying to teach you something, but you can't quite grasp what it is. And in the middle of all this uncertainty, you keep going, even if you don't know why, or for how much longer you can. Have you ever found yourself whispering questions into the darkness, unsure if anyone is listening? Have you ever felt guilty for doubting, for wanting to give up, for not being able to explain your struggle, even to yourself? If so, you're not alone. There are nights when everything is silent, and yet, somewhere in the darkness, something stirs. I can almost hear it, a faint rustle, like roots pushing through the soil, hidden beneath the surface where no eyes can see. Even when the air feels heavy and unmoving, there's still that imperceptible shift, as if a gentle breeze is gathering strength far away, promising rain to thirsty ground. It's strange how some mornings the light doesn't burst in, but instead slowly seeps through the cracks, soft and patient, as if the day is learning how to begin again. I remember moments when I stood on the edge of giving in, and somehow breath returned, not with a thunderclap, but like a sigh that fills the chest. Have you ever found yourself standing long after your strength was supposed to end? I wonder if, in the quiet, something was carrying me, though I never saw it, never named it. Perhaps the silence is not just emptiness, but a place where things are quietly forming. Maybe absence is a kind of shelter, a womb where hope grows slowly, unhurried, unseen. I think of seeds in the dark, breaking open where no one applauds, their small beginnings hidden from the sun until the hour is right. Sometimes a memory drifts back, a moment when a hand steadied me, or comfort arrived without warning, soft as a blanket laid over tired shoulders. These are not grand rescues, just tiny mercies stitched into the ordinary, barely noticed at the time. So I wait, not with certainty, but with the faintest sense that something is moving beneath the surface, preparing a way where I can't yet walk. Maybe that's enough for now. A whisper that even in the pause, life is quietly gathering itself, daring to hope in the dark. Maybe this isn't abandonment. Maybe what I'm living is the silence of a God who is still present, quiet and near, breathing softly in the gaps where I thought I'd been left behind. Perhaps I am not standing still, but being gestated from within, like something hidden, delicate, slowly taking form in the darkness beneath the surface. The pause, the waiting, the hush that once felt suffocating, now seems to cradle me with a kind of secret care. What once looked like the end is perhaps a womb. What once felt like absence is maybe a quiet kind of shelter. The seeds pressed into the dark earth do not shout or rush, but in their hiddenness, life is beginning to stir. The breath that I thought was just a sigh of exhaustion is actually a whisper of a gentle rhythm that keeps me alive through the silence. It is possible that what feels like silence is not emptiness, but a sacred pause. A space where something is happening, even if I can't see it yet. Maybe this is what it means to wait in secret, held, not forgotten. Maybe this is the gentle presence I have missed, woven into every moment where I thought I was alone. The darkness is not only emptiness, it is the fertile ground where new things are born. The silence is not a void, but a soft room where hope is allowed to grow, safe from the noise and haste. It is possible that every quiet, every ache, every breathless pause is part of something being formed in me. Now I can give a name to this strange, quiet season, the silence before the breakthrough. The hidden work, the sacred waiting. It is not a punishment, nor a sign of being abandoned. It is a secret place where life is preparing to bloom. And maybe, just maybe, I'm exactly where I need to be. Maybe, right now, you feel a gentle relief washing over your soul, a lightness you haven't felt in a long time. Or perhaps a single tear has finally fallen, not in weakness, but as a quiet sign that something inside you recognizes these words. If what you've listened to so far makes sense, even if you can't explain why, even if there are no clear answers yet, know that this is already a kind of faith. It's your heart saying yes, even in the silence. If these words found a home in you, if they echo something you've carried alone, you can simply write Amen somewhere, even if it's just in your mind. Or you can just let your heart whisper, I'm still. Sometimes, a silent agreement is as sacred as any spoken prayer. You're not the only one listening in the quiet, feeling all this in secret. There are others, scattered and unseen, who ache and hope, who are silently holding on for a breakthrough. In this hidden community, you are never as alone as you imagine. There are hearts beating quietly beside yours, even if you never see their faces or hear their voices. There is something sacred about this waiting, this fragile hope that refuses to give up. You may not see what is moving beneath the surface, but something is being prepared. The silence is not empty. It is full of promise. Stay with this feeling just a little longer. Let your heart remain open. Soon, what has been hidden will begin to reveal itself softly in its own time. The next step draws even closer to what your soul has been searching for. Maybe now, a little quieter, you can sense it, the gentle truth that was always waiting for you. God never left your side, not even once. Even in the nights you couldn't pray, or the mornings when hope felt distant and empty, you were never truly alone. There's a kindness in this presence that doesn't demand your strength, doesn't wait for you to have perfect words, doesn't keep count of your doubts or your silences. Jesus never came for the ones who have it all together. He seeks out the worn out, the out of breath, the ones whose faith flickers in the dark. You don't need to prove yourself not to him. You don't need to climb or strive or carry the weight of being enough. Even in your weakest moment, Even when you thought of giving up on everything, he never gave up on you. What if his nearness was hidden in your every sigh? What if, in the very places you felt abandoned, he was quietly holding you, letting you be? You don't need to earn his presence. You don't need to rehearse apologies or explain your brokenness. He's not measuring your worth by your resilience or your prayers. Maybe this is the beginning of a new kind of faith, not one built on performance, but on the quiet trust that you are held, seen, and loved. The silence wasn't emptiness. It was a sacred space where hope could be reborn, where you could be softened and restored. And now, as you breathe in this gentle truth, maybe you're ready for what comes next. Maybe he's been speaking to you all along, through whispers that cross the centuries, through promises that wait patiently for your heart to open. Something true, something ancient and alive, is about to find you. Maybe you didn't know, but this ache you carry, it already has a name in the scriptures. This longing, this quiet place where words run out and all you have are silent prayers, has been walked before. In these moments, there is a voice, ancient and yet alive, that meets you exactly where you are. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. That's not just something written for another time, another person. It's a living invitation, spoken right now, into the heaviness you feel, the exhaustion you can't name, the hope you're afraid to hold. This isn't a demand for strength or a test of faith. It's a gentle hand reaching for yours in the middle of your struggle, a promise that you don't have to keep carrying everything alone. This is a whisper that knows every part of your story, the sleepless nights, the doubts, the waiting that feels endless. It's not asking you to understand or to do anything more than be here with all that you are. You are seen, you are known, and in this very moment, you are invited to rest. Let the words sink in. They are for you, not because you've earned them or because your faith is perfect, but because you're tired and you need a place to breathe. This is for the days when you can't see the way forward, for the nights when hope feels far away. Jesus sees you right now, and he offers rest, not as an idea, but as a reality you can lean into even with trembling hands. Let that promise settle into your heart. You're not alone. Rest is here. Perhaps today, your prayer is simply to remain standing. Maybe hope shows itself in the slow drawing of breath, in the quiet pause before the next step. Faith can be a sigh, softer than words, barely noticed by the world, but not missed by the one who sees you. You don't have to run. The seed of the word grows in the dark, quietly, while you merely breathe. There's no need to force what is already alive. Sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is allow yourself to be carried, letting the day unfold as it will. The way forward may not look like movement at all. Sometimes, the path opens up inside you, in the gentle decision to stay, to wait, to trust that something sacred is happening even when you feel nothing at all. Today, the invitation is not to act, but to remain. To let faith be what it is, sometimes as soft as, sometimes as quiet as simply being here with your tired body and your honest doubts, in the silence of ordinary life. These quiet moments, the ones that seem invisible, unremarkable, are not wasted. They're holy ground. Your spiritual life is not separate from grocery lists, from the weight of routine, from the hush of early morning or the ache of a long day. Here, in this very moment, you're already living what you've received. The promise is not about spectacle, but about presence, a presence that stays even when nothing seems to change. If all you can do today is breathe with hope, that is enough. If your prayer is simply to be, that is sacred. The journey is not measured by leaps, but by the gentle staying, the patient heart, the willingness to let the word take root in the hidden places. The way may be quiet, but it is real, and it has already begun. Jesus, I don't even know how to begin. Sometimes there aren't words left, just these sighs that rise and fall inside me. You know every silent ache, every hope that flickers in the dark corners of my heart. I'm tired, Lord. I'm not here to pretend I'm strong or to impress you with faith I don't always feel. You see me raw, unfinished, hands empty yet still open. I bring you the seed of my trust, small and trembling, barely alive sometimes, but it's here. Teach me to stay, to wait, even when the silence feels endless and I can't see what's growing beneath the surface. I confess that I've doubted, that sometimes surrender feels more like being carried than walking on my own 2 feet. I confess that there are days when the valley seems too long and the promise too distant. But you've been here, quiet, steady, a presence that refuses to leave, even when I wanted to disappear. Thank you for not giving up on me, for holding on when I let go, for whispering hope when I had none left. I don't have a polished prayer, only this honest offering. I am here. I am yours. If all I can do is breathe and let my heart beat quietly in your presence, let that be enough. Let my weakness be the place where your love takes root, where your word finds a home in the soil of my everyday. Remind me that even in the silence, you are working, tending to hidden things, nurturing life in the secret places. I surrender my need to see the outcome, to control the process. I trust that you are with me in the way, in the breaking, in the new things you are bringing to birth. Hold me close, Jesus, and teach me to trust your heart when I cannot trace your hand. Thank you for being here, for being enough, for being patient with my unfinished surrender. I rest in you, and that is my prayer. God is still with you. Even if you don't feel him now, he remains quiet, constant, and faithful. The seed planted in your heart today will grow gently and at the right time, even if you can't see it yet. Sometimes just breathing is all you can do, and that is enough. If all you managed today was to stay, to breathe, or to whisper a silent hope, trust that God receives it as prayer. You are not alone, and you never have been. If this word found a home in you, feel free to comment with an amen. Let your silent faith shine by liking this moment, and if you know someone walking through silence, share it with them too. This is a space where you can return whenever you need to breathe, to rest, or simply to remember that you're loved. If you want to keep journeying with us, you're always welcome here. This place is yours too. May you rest tonight in the assurance that God is near, working quietly in the places you cannot see. And when tomorrow comes, know that your story is unfolding day by day in the gentle hands of grace.